Hi guys. As promised, I told you I would let you see and hear what a bat call sounds like. So normally the bat call, they use echolocation, so they use what's called ultrasound calls. What we mean by ultrasound is that it goes above our um, a human's range of hearing. Okay. So, what this program does is that one, it records the ultrasound, and two, it can actually convert the ultrasound into our normal range of hearing so that we can actually hear the bat call, which is really neat because normally we can't. So here I have the bat call of an eastern red bat. Now I got this even though the eastern red bat, their native range does not overlap in Arkansas. And the reason I caught this is that it is similar to another bat call that I am looking for, that the rate of the frequency in which I normally capture that particular species of bat is low. And since their ranges don't overlap, I'm using the eastern red bat call as a possible indicator of the presence of that species. So I'm pretty excited that I got this. So on to explaining the graph. Now, you've taken math classes, you've seen graphs, all right? And so normally you see a 2D graph, a two-dimensional graph, which measures two variables, right? So normally you would just see the x-axis, which runs along the bottom. In this particular case, I am measuring time in seconds. And then on the y-axis, which runs along the side, it goes up and down. I'm measuring frequency, which is measured in kilohertz. And hertz is the measurement of frequency invented by a dead white guy whose last name was Hertz. And the third variable, so this is a 3D graph, a three-dimensional graph. And this shows acoustic power, or what we call loudness. So loudness means is the acoustic output of a source. So if I talk really like this, you can't hear me. You couldn't hear me, that means my acoustic power was low. Now, if I talk really, really loudly, then my loudness goes up. Okay, so now that I've explained, another way to explain it is if you're like a speaker is automatically going to put out a set amount of sound based on what you tell it to. So if you go to like a concert or whatever, they actually have, it's not good for your ears to sit close to the stage and the speakers because the speakers usually have very high decibels. Okay, and the reason they have loud decibels is because decibels and frequency work together to come to our ears and so that we can hear it. So the farther something is away, the determines the likelihood of how well you can hear it. Okay, because when we make a sound, it makes waves. So what the frequency is how many waves per second is the sound making. And so let's say someone down the hall, you're trying to listen, you're trying to eavesdrop on them, and you're trying to listen on their conversation, and they're talking really quietly. That's because their acoustic output is low. And the frequency, starts from their mouth, it starts really high, but as you get further away, it starts to go, the wavelength starts to go like this, and then it becomes underneath our range of hearing, which is called infrasound. Okay, and I know that I'm getting into physics here, but I'm just giving you an example of how this works. So, you can see here that it is a high frequency and over time, like I just said, over time or over space, it the it gets lower. So that's why you're seeing this curve. It gets high frequency over time, and then as the sound travels over time, the wavelengths get shorter and shorter, and thus the frequency gets lower. Now, you can see here too, not just with, this isn't just indicated with color. So color is it indicates the variable of loudness. And you can also see it up here. So you can see that it matches whenever you see the red here, it matches with the loudness spike right here. There's another one right here, and it correlates with this one here. So isn't that cool? Oh, it's super cool. It's cool to me. It's cool. It's cool to me. It's cool to me. Okay. So, I mean, that's why I'm studying this, because there's not a lot known about bats and their range and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to let you listen. This video has a microphone installed that has an ultrasound that is capable of picking up ultrasound waves. So if you listen, you can actually hear the bat squeaking or making a chittering noise, and that is what he sounds like. So this, again, this is the eastern red bat. So you can see that bat. He was not having it. He did not like being manhandled. And you could hear him sort of, he was he was just not happy. So he was having basically a fit. But if you heard the clicks, though, that was also part of his call. So the little click, 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 and you could barely hear it. Oh, I just realized I didn't unplug my microphone. I'm gonna have to play it again. I'm so sorry.
One of the neat things about the red bats is they overwinter here, but they don't go in a cave to hibernate. When it gets down close to freezing, they actually go down under the leaf litter and hibernate against the earth, which keeps them from freezing. If it's above freezing, they stay up.
If you listened closely, you could hear the little clicks that he's making. those are part of the bat calls, and those so a click would be an individual curve. So that'd be one click, and then they just make a series of clicks, and that is they each species has a, each species has a different number and frequency of clicks. So each species of bat, this graph will look different. So now I'm gonna play some more. You will actually start to hear him like screeching.
The oak trees during the winter time. If it's warm enough in the evening, they come out, forage, usually for moths for 45 minutes or an hour, and then go back into torpor, either up in the leaves or under the leaves. They
So you can tell that bat was not happy. Okay, that bat was not having a great day. He was not a happy camper. He absolutely did not like being manhandled, which most of us don't like being manhandled. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And so now you know why or like how I'm taking data, what kind of data I am taking, and this um, can and like what it tells me. So what it tells me is what species of bat is in the area, what time of night they are out. If I'm doing this over, say, a year, so if I do multiple recordings at the same site per year, I am um, I can tell what at what time of year these bats are present at that site, which is what I am doing. I am looking at what species of bat are present where in Arkansas over a year's time. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit of applied science. And I will actually see you guys, or you will see me later.